You're listening to CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living. To learn more about who we are, what we do, and how we do it, call toll-free 1-866-928-3310, and we'll send you out a no-obligation information kit absolutely free. 866-928-3310. The CFRN E-Mini Futures Cast is now on Stitcher. Listen to us on your iPhone, Android phones, BlackBerry, and WebOS phones. Stitcher is smart radio for your phone. Find it in your app store or at Stitcher.com. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
Are you ready, Steve? Andy? Yeah! Bert? Well, all right, fellas. Let's go!
You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/CFRN. Over 85,000 titles. Choose from mystery, romance, religion, science, technology, business, New York Times bestsellers, even children's books. You name it, Audible has it. With 85,000 titles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect audiobook for yourself or to give as a gift, and it's absolutely free. Just point your browser to audibletrial.com/CFRN. That's audibletrial.com/CFRN. And become a part of the audiobook revolution by downloading your free audiobook today. audibletrial.com/CFRN.
Hey, trader, want to get rich quick? Well, good luck with that. If, on the other hand, you actually want to learn how to trade, the place to be is www.cfrn.net. Tune in Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern for our daily devotional, and then spend the next 3 hours learning how it's done from professional traders who actually trade for a living. That's www.cfrn.net. Every trading day from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN E-Mini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things E-Mini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro, and even T-bills. Joining us today from our studios in Boston, Mr. Michael Bork. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Thursday, 8th day of April, 2021. Thanks so much for joining us. Whoever you are, wherever you are, just glad to have you right here, right now. If you can't see the screen I have up, go to our homepage at cfrn.net. On the right-hand side of the page, click the big microphone, follow the instructions. You'll be registered in about 30 seconds. That will give you one-click access to the show each and every day. It also gives you access to the chat box so that you can ask questions and participate in the discussion. On the days that you're out of the office, away from the desktop, not to worry, just point any internet-connected browser to cfrn.net/live. There you'll find a live, real-time simulcast of the show as it unfolds. You just won't have access to the chat box. We also stream live during this broadcast on our YouTube channel. We also archive each and every daily show on the YouTube channel. Currently, there are over 1,600 daily shows for your viewing pleasure. The YouTube channel is youtube.com/CFRN. Let's open with a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you today for your blessings, for your mercy, for your grace. We thank you that you promise us that where 2 or 3 are gathered in your name, that you are there also. We welcome you today and celebrate the gift of life that you have given each of us. We ask that you would open our ears so that we may hear your voice. Open our minds so that we may receive your wisdom. Open our spirits so that we may know your leading and guidance. And open our hearts so that we may receive your wonderful love and share it with all we encounter. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Happy Thursday. All right, let me give you the numbers from around the world. These are the cash markets, the indices as they're called. Another day of pretty quiet sideways trade here at the top. Currently, the Dow is down 13 points. NASDAQ, on the other hand, is up 119, which is almost 1%. S&P 500 up 11, and the Russell 2000 up 10. In the commodity basket, crude oil down 25 cents, trading $59.52 last. Gold up $15.10, trading $17.5670 last. Silver up 28 cents, trading $25.53 last. That's a gain of a little over 1%. When the price of silver moves $1, a large futures contract has a value of $5,000. Silver is volatile, margins are high, so be careful. In the Asian markets at the close, Nikkei down 21 points, Shanghai up 3, the Hang Seng up 333. That's a gain of a little over 1%. And in the European markets at the close, FTSE up 56, DAX up 26, the CAC up 35. Again, this is a quiet, low volatility, sideways market at the top of the indices, a market waiting for something to happen. We've got a mixed day in Asia, the Nikkei being the only one in the red. We've got a green day in the UK, and it is a mixed Radio Thursday here in the US of A. The Dow, the only one in the red, down 13 points. NASDAQ flying high, up 119. With that, let's go to Michael and get a recap of everything that happened this morning in the live training room. After that, I'll come back and we'll take a look at the concierge trade alerts, the Logic 247 alerts. Again, like yesterday, there won't be a lot to share, simply because not a lot has transpired. In fact, I'll show you exactly where we stand so far on the week. Just format this real quick for my screen. Almost there. There we go. Okay. Now, the Logic 247 alerts. stream live 24/7 around the clock from Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern till Friday afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern. Traditionally, we think of trading being a Wall Street kind of a thing. But of late, we've been seeing some pretty quiet trading on Wall Street. The only real moves in the market that we've seen have been on the overnight or the Globex session. So far this week, we've issued just 36 alerts total. 6 never triggered, waiting on 1, 29 actionable, 17% stopped out based on not risking more than $300 per contract per trade, less when possible using market structure, and a very simple 3-step process that we teach all of our passport holders. In the morning in the live training room, Michael teaches you the importance of always having a hard physical stop on every trade, because if you don't, then it's not trading, it's gambling. He's teaching you the strategy, he's teaching you the setup. And so to keep the stop side of it simple, he uses an 8-tick hard stop across the board on every market, on every trade. When you start trading larger time frames, when you start trading the alerts, be it logic or concierge, those are based on a larger time frame. We use the fast 4-tick range in the morning so that Michael is able to show you multiple trading opportunities during the course of the 2 hours as the market provides. When we switch to the alerts and the 30-minute chart, it's still important to always have a hard physical stop, but we actually take a look at market structure and let the chart tell us exactly where that stop needs to be. And so when I take the charts here in just a few minutes, I'll show you that the moves have been happening more on Globex than during the day session. And Michael is here. He's got the charts.
Yeah, I just took them.
Yep. No, we're ready for you.
Okay.
So it is all yours. Take it away, and I will be here when you're done.
All right, I thought that was my cue. When you take the charts, but you already had them. But all right, here we go. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Thursday, the 8th day of April, 2021. 8th day of April. Woo-hoo. All right, guys. If you have not taken a free trial with us, go to the homepage here at cfrn.net. Scroll down to where it says free 5-day trial, no credit card required. Click on that. I'll bring you to this page, eminitrainingschool.com. On this page, all that we ask for is your name, your email, and your phone number. You can tell us the biggest training challenge so we can tailor one-on-one training just for you. Hit the send button and you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on that confirmation link, okay? If you don't click that link, we don't know that you took the free trial, so you got to click on that link. All right, now the results. We had a pretty good day today compared to the last couple of days. The last couple of days have been pretty slow, but it picked up quite a bit today. Now the ES started off really slow, and then it was kind of draggy all day long, trying to get up to this weekly trading zone. You can see it's getting to right now. It was trying to get there all morning, but I'll get into that in just a minute. If you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today is the 8th day of April, 2021. Today I made 54 ticks in crude, 36 ticks in gold, and 20 ticks on the ES. Put us up $1,150 a contract on the morning session. Today it took 13 minutes and 1 trade to get to the goal for the day. At that mark, up $100 a contract, and we took a total of 19 trades this morning. So on the month now, we're at $3,752 a contract. That's over 5 trading days, averaging $750 per contract per 2-hour trading day. On the year, we've gotten our goal 65 out of 66 days, and that puts us at $56,455 a contract. That's over 66 trading days, averaging $855 per contract per 2-hour trading day. All right. Now, we'll just start out and go left to right. All right, on the gold today, this trade right here, I gotta say, I put the trade on, then I forgot I had it on, and then I stepped away from the screens for a few minutes, and I came back and I was up 20 ticks, and I ended up making 28 ticks on this one. This would have been 3 different trades for me had I been sitting there. It would have been 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. So I probably would have gotten the same, maybe even more ticks if I'd taken the individual trades, but either way, I ended up getting it. The way the gold started out, right here at the open, it had a little move up right there. Now I looked at it a little before the open, and I had a trade on in here that I left on that I accidentally got punished for. But when it did finally open over here, let's see, what was that right in here? There was a momentum long trade from right there to capture a little bit of that leg up, and it pulled all the way back, and it was bouncing around a little bit before it started giving us actual trade setups. It gave a short one right here that would have given a little profit, another one right here that probably would have been break even for me. Then the first trade we took on gold was right here. We only got 1 tick. The next one was right here. We got 3. The one after that was right there. We got 4. That put us at +8 at this point. Then we had a break even. And then we had 28 ticks to put us at +36. And got really choppy toward the end of the session. I had highlighted these areas toward the end of the session, places it'll probably get to during the break, and you can see it did get to the upper level. It gave a long opportunity there and there. Okay, that was all during the break. Now, let's look at the ES. I was just going to put left to right, but let's just look at the ES because it only had a couple of trades. Now, the ES, as I said, it started out, just a mess right here. It had all this in the pre-market, and then it didn't get any better for the first 15 minutes or so. Then finally it gave a trade. Right here we picked up our 8 ticks. That was our first trade of the day right there. And we picked up 8 ticks on that. Then we had a break even there. We picked up 4 ticks here to put us at +12. Then another 8 ticks here to put us at +20. Then it got really choppy again, not really anything to do. And at the end of the session this morning, did I give any numbers on it? I guess I did. Down here, I said, if it's going to go down, look for it to go down to here. But I said on the upside, if it's going to go up, look for it to get to the weekly trading zone. And it just did that right here, finally. And so now we'll see if it consolidates there at the zone. Okay. Now, crude is where we had the most trades today. And the crude was acting pretty well today. It started out here with a break-even trade, okay? And I suggested it was going to get down to this level. And it didn't get down exactly to that level. It got down pretty close, but we ended up with a break-even there. Then the next trade here, we picked up 4 ticks. We missed that one, missed that one. Though it suggested these levels, it did get to them, but I didn't get filled. On the next trade here on crude, we picked up 8 ticks to put us at +12. Okay, then we had a break even. Then we picked up 15 ticks to put us at +27. Then 9 ticks to put us at +36. Then a break even, 10 ticks to put us at +46. I missed this one right here. This would have been a nice trade to have. We had another 10 ticks in that one if I'd have gotten filled. I was putting in these levels here, and it took it a while to get to them, but it eventually did get to all of them. So we're at 46. Then we had a break even right in there. And there was another trade that we took somewhere where we picked up 8 ticks to put us at +54. I don't know where that one ended up being. But there was another trade somewhere where we picked up 8 ticks. It might have actually been this one. But anyway, we ended with +54 on the crude. During the break, it had a nice long trade right here, right, for that leg up. And it got up to that level that we had said earlier. Now, I don't, 59.4 is the high of the day. And it came off the high of the day pretty strong. Give 1 shorting opportunity, maybe 2 shorting opportunities on the way back down. And that was it for crude. We ended with +54 on crude. Now, we'll go through the spreadsheet one more time. If you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today's the 8th day of April, 2021. Today we made 54 ticks in crude, 36 ticks in gold, and 20 on the ES. Put us up $1,150 a contract on the morning session. Today it took 13 minutes and 1 trade to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up $100 a contract, and we took a total of 19 trades. So on the month now, we're at $3,752 a contract. That's over 5 trading days, averaging $750 per contract per 2-hour trading day. We've now gone 65 out of 66 days of getting our goal. 65 out of 66 days of getting our goal this year. And on the year now, we're at $56,455. That's over 66 trading days, averaging $855 per contract per 2-hour trading day. Okay. Now, if you've not taken the free trial with us and you want to, go to the homepage here at cfrn.net. Right down here, it says free 5-day trial, no credit card required. Click on that, and you'll be brought to this page, eminitrainingschool.com. On this page, all that we ask for is your name, your email, and your phone number. And you can tell us the biggest trading challenge so we can tailor one-on-one training just for you. All right, hit the send button, you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on the confirmation link, all right? If you don't click that link, we don't know that you took the free trial, so you got to make sure you click on that. All right? All right. And that's it, guys. With that, we can pass it back out to Studio A in fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Dwayne, if you are ready.
Yes, sir.
There it goes.
I'm ready. Recap of the recap.
Well, today it took 13 minutes and 1 trade to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up $100 a contract.
Good job.
Thank you.
As always. All right, guys, one more time in case you missed it at the beginning. Logic 247 this week. Slow week because we're having this battle at the top. And we'll go look at that battle on the charts here in just a moment. At a total of 36 alerts, 17 stopped out based on not risking more than $300 per contract per trade, less when possible. Now, those are the alerts that flow starting Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, continue around the clock. It could be 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. right on up until Friday afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern, whenever opportunity presents itself. So while you're sleeping, that's somebody else's day session, and while they're sleeping, that's your day session. So they flow around the clock. Now, our original alert service is a little bit different. Concierge trade alerts. Those are published once per session. Typically, it will be right after the Globex Open. Last night, they did not come out right after the Globex Open. We were trying to just get a handle on what the markets were trying to do. And so I did want to make sure they got out ahead of the London Open. So it was 1:20 a.m. Eastern. It's usually about 10 minutes after Globex opens. There's 2 numbers for each market. If you want to grab a screenshot, go right ahead. The long side for the S&P, 4093. So the best way to handle this, the short side, 4066, is when the report's published, go to your chart, put 2 lines in the sand. Once this is published, if price starts trending towards 4093, of course, that's bullish. Logic will then attempt to find opportunities, windows of opportunity, to buy the market. If price, after this report is published, and again, these numbers are good for the entire session, if price starts dropping towards 4066, that's bearish, Logic will then start to look for opportunities to sell the market. Once price is above 4093, we're only interested in longs. Once price is below 4066, we're only interested in shorts. Now, concierge alerts are based on historic price action. Logic 247 is based on current price action. And when those 2 things come together, that is where you'll find some of your highest probability, lowest risk trading opportunities. So we'll start out, as we do, with the daily chart. And yes, it's true. We have another new all-time historic intraday high. And if we were to close right here, we would have a new all-time closing high. Now, yesterday, we had a new all-time historic closing high, but we did not have a all-time intraday high. We had an intraday high at 4076 Yesterday, the high was only 75.5, so we missed it by 2 ticks. But the all-time historic closing high was 40.70, and yesterday we closed at 40.75 and a quarter. We have put in a new high, so that requires us to once again grab this, drag it up to embrace today's new all-time historic high. Right there. Over here, we have, let me pull this out of the way, just clear things up. So I'll click here, grab here, I'll bring that up to embrace the new all-time historic high. That puts the 24% fib retracement at a weekly trading zone 4044/4045. Now, I took away from the low put in at the end of October, beginning of November, to this new all-time historic high, 24% fib retracement of this entire move up is right at that weekly trading zone. Just above that, we've got the step line, we've got blue and climbing, and then right here at the 50% fib retracement of the last leg up, we've got the daily BBC. So lots of areas beneath us for support. The low of today's session would be the first, then the step line, blue and climbing, and the weekly zone, which is 44/45. Those three things come together to create support times 3, or support 3x. I write it different ways sometimes in the discussion group. Now, where might price be trying to go? We'll use a different tool. We use this, the Fibonacci price extension tool. We'll go to this low from the end of October, and we'll pull it right up to this swing high. Fibs are an area, so don't worry about getting it absolutely perfect. Okay. So using the same 14th century math, the golden ratio, the Fibonacci math that we use to create our retracements that we just looked at, can also project prices into the future, especially in situations like this, where if we look left, there's nothing there. This price has never traded here before. So the next Fibonacci price extension overhead will be the 38, which is at 41.2575, and then the 50% extension take us up to 42.15. Our obvious resistance for today, so far, is the high of the day. Right here, 40.9275. Beyond that, we have no obstacles, nothing in our path as we work our way up to the 38% Fibonacci price extension. If buyers are not able to take out today's high, again, your support, you've got a huge support area here, which reaches really from 40.60, basically 40.61, back down to this conglomeration here at 44/45. Now we do have another fib. In fact, we have this week's highest weekly trading zone. It's right here at 40.85/86. In fact, that was also last week's highest weekly trading zone. So 40.85/86 spiked it. Now the red and blue line, it's called the CFMA1. Blue is bullish, represents support. When price rallies, it will typically climb the back of blue and climbing. Red and falling is the opposite. That represents resistance. It's bearish. And so when price runs into, just as price climbs the back of blue and climbing, when it runs into red and falling, that will often serve as good resistance, as it did there, as it did again there. In this candle, we managed to get above red and falling, but then as we approach the BBC from below, we expect that to be good resistance. On this day, we managed to get back above the BBC after this retracement. We've now got a leg, a retracement, and a pretty extended leg. Okay. This parabolic move started to walk sideways. Looked like we might have found a top there. Then along comes today, and yet another new high. So we know that a retracement is coming because that's just how markets work. You can see it. Leg, retrace, leg, retrace, leg, retrace, leg, retrace. Big leg, big retracement, leg and a retracement. It's important to understand that price flows the same way on a daily chart as it does on a 1-minute chart. From support to resistance, back to support, back to resistance, over and over, again and again, the never-ending cycle. When you fully understand that, then you start to understand the importance of going to a daily chart to identify major support and resistance. And then as you go to your smaller time frames, you identify the minor areas of support and resistance. And when price hits resistance, you want to exit any long positions and potentially initiate a short position if the chart allows that. This green line, which we call the BBC, it just stands for bull bear cross. When price crosses above it, that's bullish. Anticipate higher prices. When price gets below it, it's bearish. We anticipate lower prices. Higher prices, lower prices. And so it is the relationship between price and the BBC on the 30-minute chart that determines whether we're bullish or bearish, whether we're looking for lower prices or higher prices. So let's go to the 30-minute chart of the S&P right here. And here we sit right on top of this week's highest weekly trading zone. We did manage to trade above it on the overnight session. We got back below it. This candle here, this was the London Open. And by the 4 a.m. Eastern candle, we were back to the VBC. Big leg, there's the retracement. Price always reverts to the mean. Price always comes home. In our case, the mean just happens to be green. Again, it's called the BBC. We use it the same way on a 30-minute chart as we do on a daily chart, as we do on a 1-minute chart. Price flowed from support until it found resistance. And once it found resistance, it flowed to support. Support sent it to resistance. And now back to this. This was 2 days of market activity. Okay, we were trapped between the highs here around 40.75, these lows down around 40.55, 56. From the top to the bottom, back to the top to the bottom. a failed attempt to the top, back to the bottom, back to the top, back to the bottom, back to the top. Last night, during the 1930 candle, or 7:30 p.m. Eastern, buyers came in and they took out 2 days worth of highs. When price hit resistance at the zone, the swing high was 40.83. Zones, like fibs, are an area. Okay, so that resistance sent the market looking for support, which it found at blue and climbing. And so here we go, climbing the back of blue and climbing up to the highest weekly zone, which is 85/86. Continued on to 92.75, and that was it. Now, why did price stop at 40.92.75? There's no sense looking left because there's nothing there. Now, you'll hear and read all kinds of theories and reasons why current all-time high in the S&P 500 E-mini futures is 40.92.75. Well, I'm going to tell you the real reason. When price hit 40.92.75, no one in the order flow was willing to pay 40.93. Why? The answer to that question is unknowable. Because we're talking every trader in the markets, every institution, every fund, every retail trader. In the DOM, there were contracts for sale at 40.93, but nobody was willing to click the mouse and buy 40.93. So in essence, what happened is we stalled, buyers stopped buying, and then sellers, especially the institutions that focus on the short side, when they see buyers stop buying, when order flow grinds to a halt, sellers will step in and do what sellers do. But they were only able to take us back to the BBC. Now, if we were to just look at this entire leg right here, go from that low to that high. Basically, we had a 38% fib retracement. There's a 50% fib retracement. And we're just here basically consolidating. What we're doing is we're doing this now at a slightly higher level. That level would be really a continuation on this right here. Try that again. Go. And then there. So what we had for 2 days, being trapped in this area, grinding sideways. We may be in for another day or two of this same kind of behavior. From the low to the high, back to the low. So again, it's going to take some kind of a news event. Let me look and see what's on tap tomorrow morning. Is this open? Let's go here, here, here. Let's go to here. take a look at the calendar for tomorrow. Economic calendar. Investing.com is the economic calendar that I use. Michael uses a different one. I think he uses Forex Factory. Use the one that suits you best, but always check it, because you don't want to put on a trade when there's a major event coming out. So this is today, and today, well, I guess he's speaking now. Fed Chair Powell speaks. Does it kind of tell us what he's talking about? Let's see. Powell is to speak as head of the Fed, which controls short-term interest rates. He has more influence over the U.S. dollar's value than any other person. Traders closely watch his speeches, as they are often used to drop hints regarding future monetary policy. All right, so that's all we know. So that's going on right now. So keep an eye on the market, because as long as he's speaking, and I don't know who he's speaking to, if he's testifying before Congress, but it has the ability, of course, to move the markets. If we look at tomorrow's economic reports, let's see if we have anything early. Now, these little stars here, when you've got 3 stars, that means high volatility is expected. Just 1 star, low volatility. And so we don't have anything early. We don't have anything before the bell tomorrow. I take that back. At 8:30 a.m. Eastern, we've got PPI. That is a high impact economic report. And that is it. We have one high impact economic report tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. If that's a huge hit or a miss, that has the ability to move the markets. It is, as you can see, labeled high volatility expected. So we'll see. It's going to take something, I think, more than the PPI, unless it was really a huge hit or a miss, to break us out of this. So we'll see. 2 days of this. Now we've elevated ourselves up to perhaps just more of the same. Okie doke. On the concierge trade alerts for last night, on the long side, 40.93. Now the alerts again did not come out until 1 a.m. Eastern. So that's going to be, it was during the life of this candle right here. And the number again was 40.93. Okay, and the swing high was 40.92.75. So we never touched the trigger. We came within 1 tick of touching the trigger. It's not magic, it's just math. So no trigger on the long side. Now, how many days have we seen this? No trigger on this day. No trigger on this day. No trigger on the long side. The short number last night for the S&P was 40.66. Which is down here. And again, we have no trigger. I don't know if there has ever been a day or a week where we had 3 consecutive days in a row where the CTA failed to trigger. But here it is. And it's important. It's worth noting and understanding the reasons why. We're at all-time historic highs. Now, the The bulls keep pushing us, inching us a little bit higher, a little bit higher. At some point, retracement that we know is coming will come. And where will it most likely take us? Remember, this entire bullish move up since the end of October, beginning of November, to the new current high today, 24% fib, sits right here at about 38.86 fibs are an area. And then we got this bullish cross right below that. So could price really come down? Now, that's just the shallowest fib retracement. It's important to understand that we could get a 24% fib retracement, a bounce, and then the next leg to the downside could take us to the 38, to the 50, to the 62. Got to embrace the possibility. It's hard to imagine that happening with such bullish activity, but that's just how markets work. So price here got above the BBC. So we want to look for long opportunities, but there's no long opportunity because you've got potential resistance right overhead. You've got a weekly zone, the highest weekly zone at 85.86. I mean, we tried on this candle. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 failed attempts to get above. On this candle, we got above, but we didn't close above because the actual weekly zone is 85/86. This candle closed at 85.5, right in the middle of the zone. And then we turn right around. So this market has no direction, no driving force. It's just hanging out, waiting for some exogenous event to get a move on. And it will. Now, if you've been trading the last few days, and if you've struggled, if you've had difficulties, if you were trading here and anywhere in here, if you were able to eke out a trade, that's great. Michael obviously has done well in the live training room on the faster time frame, but from the bigger picture perspective, just isn't much to do. All right, go to the Dow. Let's go to the Dow. Why won't it go to the Dow? How about we take that away? Try it again. There we go. Okay, CTA number last night for the Dow. 33.5 1/4. Way up here. And on the short side, 33.290. So it looks like we managed to catch that one. Now, again, the alerts came out at 1:20 a.m. Eastern. So we got to find that 1 o'clock candle. Right here. This is when the CTAs came out last night. Normally they're out shortly after the Globex open. And the short side is 33.290. So from 33.290 this low here at 234, low here at 227. So if we wanted to do the same thing that we did on the S&P, coming into yesterday, the Dow had some moves. You know, at a leg, at a retracement, a leg, at a retracement. Then right here, this is where the party ended. So we've got a high, a lower high, a lower high, and a lower high. Okay, so this is the area where the Dow is trapped. Now, with a short at 33,290, the trade to target is the weekly trading zone below. However, before price could get to that zone, that trade to target, it has to overcome this support, which it was unable to do. Support drove price back to resistance, and then resistance into support. We've overcome the BBC. When you approach the BBC from below, you expect resistance. When you pull back from above, support. See, leg, retracement, support. Leg, retracement, leg. Right into this support area. So from here, do we make a run at the zone overhead? I have no doubt that the market will try, but it has an obstacle to overcome. It's bearish cross, which led to a muted extended move. Now we've got resistance here. So price would have to get above this area. And then that would leave, 20 points or less for it to get back to the zone. So I don't foresee there being any opportunity on the long side or the short side. From 33,290 down to 230, that's a 60-point drop at $5 a point. It's $300 per contract traded in quiet sideways trade. All right, let's go to the Russell. Now the Russell got some movement. Okay, let's find that 1 a.m. candle right there. On the Russell, the long side was 22.43, which we can see we never reached. And on the short side, 22.22, which we did reach. And from 22.22, we dropped to 22.07. So that's a 15-point move at $50 a point. And I would normally say here, important prices, important areas, almost always tested. But as we can see, once the market found support, now there's a weekly zone at 22.25. The next weekly zone below, this is an old weekly zone at 22.05. The next one below is actually 21.97. Right there. So from 22 down to 22.07, 15 points, $50 a point. That's what the market made available. Okay, next the NQ. And this is the highest weekly trading zone for this week on the NQ. The CTA number last night for the NQ was 735. So the 1 a.m. candle is right there. The CTA number 735. Swing high here was 36 and a quarter. Swing high here, 743. And the big move from 35 to 53. The NQ pays $20 a point. Often the CTA number, and those numbers again are good for the entire session, will act like an iron curtain. Price hits it, it gets turned away. And while we did, tiptoe over the line, the market just did not have enough get up and go to get up and go anywhere. And so now price is pinched between the CTA and the BBC. Short side for the NQ was 13,504. Way down here. And so never touched. After the NQ, crude oil. Even crude, same effect. It's above the BBC, then it's below, then it's above, then it's below, then it's above, then it's below. Very, very, very difficult trading. Okay. In fact, the only way you can trade this is as Michael does and teaches you each morning on that fast time frame. 60.20 was the long CTA, which we never hit. And the short side was 58.85. Here's the 1 a.m. candle. 58. The swing low was 58.82. So the reticks over the line. Nothing to write home about. And then we move on to gold. It's gold. Gotta move on. Now, the highest weekly zone this week for gold, that's an old zone there. 36, then 46, and then the highest weekly zone is up at 79. CTA last night for gold, 17.42. And from 1742, the trade to target is the weekly zone overhead. So that's a $400 per contract move. And the swing low here was 42.1. So I don't get to say important prices, important. Well, it's true, important prices, important areas are almost always tested. And it did come back to test it. It just didn't trade below it. Got to see at least one tick below it. Count as a retrigger. Now, we hit it, we pull back to the BBC, and you can see the legs. Leg, retrace, leg, retrace, leg. Shallow retracement. These are all shallow retracements. We had one pull back to the BBC, this pull back just to the step line in blue and climbing. Same here. So from 42 to 62 would be 20 points. So this is about a 16-point move. But again, 46 was the trade to target. That's $400 for contract trading. And there's only one left. Silver. Okay. And on silver, long side 25.26. The 1 a.m. candle is right here. And we're looking for 25.26. So the initial move up took us to 48, 2 pennies, $100. So we get a leg, we get a retracement, back to the trigger, back to the BBC, and then we get another move. This time, 26. We'll call it 66. It's 67, but 26 to 66, that's 40 cents. A 50-cent move in silver is worth $2,500. A $1 move in the price of silver is $5 grand. So there you have it. Until this changes, nothing changes. So we'll watch today's high, the S&P, still grinding its way sideways, right at the highest weekly zone. On the Dow, the highest weekly zone on the Dow is 33,390, which is right here. So we have traded above the highest weekly zone. We're now back below it. With the weekly zones, the highest weekly zone, it's not a call for price to trade to that number. It's just that come into the week tomorrow, we don't expect price to be above that number. And the same is true of the lowest weekly zone. It's not a call for the market to trade to that number, but we do believe that by end of week, price will not be below it, even if it's spiked below it. Just like even though we've traded above the highest weekly zone here, we expect to close the week below it. We've published the zones since December 14th of 2009. The zones go out to our members every Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern. As I said, price flows the same way on a 1-minute chart as it does on a monthly chart, from support to resistance and back again. The weekly trading zones should be looked at as fixed support and resistance. Once they're published Monday morning, they're carved in stone for the whole week. Don't change them, massage them, manipulate them in any way. The indicators and market structure provide you with dynamic support and resistance, so that anytime you sit down in front of a chart, you know who's in charge, who's got the ball, and what are they doing with it. Well, we're above the BBC, so buyers have the ball, but they can't seem to take it anywhere because we're right up against resistance. Only 3 things happen at a weekly trading zone. The most common thing, the thing you'll see 75% of the time, is consolidation. Second most likely thing is rejection. Third and least likely is called the slice. And when we have a slice, price will, once the momentum runs out of the slice, price will then retrace back to the zone that was sliced through, and then price will continue in the direction of the slice. So with that, on this very quiet trading Thursday, we'll go to our good word for the day. The Stain. That was a great movie. This is something a little different. 2 Corinthians 11:3. I fear that somehow your pure and undivided devotion to Christ will be corrupted. Have you heard of the velvet ant? It has a coat of tiny hairs that feels smooth and velvety, but it's all a disguise. It isn't an ant at all. It is a wingless wasp with a nasty sting. After injecting its victims With a venom, it lays eggs in their incapacitated bodies. One of Paul's greatest concerns was that after being saved by grace, churches would go back to living under the Old Testament law. He constantly warned them about basing their salvation and their relationship with God on their own performance. 2 Corinthians 11:3. Paul writes, I fear that somehow your pure and undivided devotion to Christ will be corrupted, just as Eve was deceived by the cunning ways of the serpent. You happily put up with whatever anyone tells you, even if they preach a different Jesus than the one we preach, or a different kind of spirit than the one you received, or a different kind of gospel than the one you believed. Another Jesus, another spirit, another gospel. Again, Paul warns us in 2 Corinthians 11:14. Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. Yes, your work for God on earth determines your rewards in heaven, but only by trusting in the finished work of Christ will you get to heaven. No one in heaven will say, look what Jesus and I did. Legalism will not only infect you, it will incapacitate you. Scottish minister Horatius Bonar wrote this, upon a life I did not live, upon a death I did not die, another's life, another's death, I stake my whole eternity. So the question, how do you protect yourself against the sting of legalism? By depending on God's grace and God's grace alone. That's our good word for the day. Thanks so much for tuning in. It is Thursday, Partners Workshop tonight. It is a members-only meeting. So if you don't have your passport yet and you want to be in that workshop tonight, go to eminifuturestrading.com. Self-serve. Get yourself all signed up. As soon as you do, Valerie will be in touch with you. She'll get you out everything you need. All of the links, all of the invitations, all of the Telegram channels. Help you get your demo platform set up, your indicators indicating, everything you need so that you can be in the workshop with us tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading E-mini futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.